Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, your host and attorney and founder at Meldon Law. We're going to have a great show today. My very good friend Lizzie Jenkins is going to be a guest with us from the Real Rosewood Foundation, and you'll hear more about that later. However, I want to cover a little bit about what's going on in the North Central Florida area and see if we can help support those that are putting on really neat events for us. I love the arts. I love music. I love the arts. I love any of these events that we're going to be talking about help make our community stronger, better, and more enjoyable to live in. So first, Tom Petty weekend, October 10th through the 12th. I think they're going to get it in even with the hurricane coming through. I spoke with the promoters, and they're full steam ahead. It's at the Heartwood Soundstage. It starts Thursday night for the VIP night. The main events are taking place outdoors Friday night and Saturday night. And there's some great groups coming through, most notably Stan Lynch, who's an original member of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is the headliner Saturday night with his group. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be really exciting. So go to the website. It's called TomPettyWeekend.com. That's how you find out about tickets. Meldon Law is giving away tickets on our Facebook page. If you want to check that out, you may be able to score. I think we're giving away 25 weekend passes on the Meldon Law Facebook page. So check it out. Maybe you'll get a free weekend pass. It's going to be really cool. Other things going on. We've got on October 12th, this Saturday from 11 to 7, the folks out at Homestead Park in Williston are doing the Rocktoberfest, the ultimate rock and roll celebration featuring a battle of the bands, contests, arts, crafts, vendors, delicious food, and a selection of brews. That's Williston, Saturday, October 12th from 11 to 7 p.m. We have, a lot of great stuff coming up. We've got Lizzie Jenkins, who's going to be our guest today on October 23rd, and you're going to hear more about this later, is celebrating her 86th birthday. What's significant about it is Lizzie is the founder of the Real Rosewood Foundation, which is dedicated to creating a museum celebrating the Black history of North Central Florida, in particular Alachua County and Levy County, where the story of Rosewood takes place, and how important it is to remember that 100 years ago it was very dangerous for Black people to be living in North Central Florida. However, there were a lot of very important white people who were heroes that helped the community of Rosewood escape from the massacre. So let's support Queen Lizzie. She's awesome. We got a good one here up in Columbia County. The 70th annual Gateway Fair and Livestock Show is October 25th through November 3rd. So it's Friday, Saturday. It goes on for a week and a half. Friday, October 25th through Sunday, November 3rd. They're going to have a midway, games and rides, food court, a livestock barn where the kids can see real cows, goats, pigs, and the kids there's all kind of kids activities. I wish I could get my grandchildren up for that one. That would be a lot of fun. And there's a music stage with country singer Carly Scott Collins and Nashville's hottest newcomer, Chase Matthew, is going to be performing as well. That's October 25th through November 3rd. So let's support them, Columbia County. Meldon Law is sponsoring the Walk to End Alzheimer's, October 26th. It starts at Trinity Methodist Church, and that's out on 53rd Avenue. But just go to the Alzheimer's walk. Just put that in Gainesville Alzheimer's walk, and you'll find it. My wife Patricia and I have been chairing the Alzheimer's event for the last couple years, and we're very proud of the work they do to help diminish the effects of Alzheimer's. I know there's lots of new drugs out there, so this is a very important group. Alzheimer's and dementia affects everybody in the community in one way or another. And we're really in an exciting time because there are things we can do to slow it down. And eventually, we may be able to figure out how to stop the horrible effects that can occur when someone has dementia and or Alzheimer's. Veterans Appreciation Weekend, October 26th and 27th. Ocala Marion Veterans Memorial Park. So the Friends of Marion County's Veterans Park, in association with the Florida Military Vehicle Heritage Group, is having an event on, let's see, when is it? It's coming up October 26th and 27th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's a Saturday and Sunday in Ocala, 9 to 5. And they're going to have a wonderful weekend honoring the vets, unveiling of the military flag, family monuments, and there's lots going to be going on there. Ocala Arts Festival, the same weekend, October 26th and 7th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It looks like it's downtown. They're going to have the Arts Festival downtown Ocala. Some great artists, and Ocala has some awesome artists there. And you're going to see a lot more food, fun, music. Again, the weekend of October 26th, 27th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Downtown on the square in Ocala. We are also, let's see, what else? We have UF Homecoming coming up October 18th. So Meldon Law, we have a brand new van that looks really cool, and we're going to get a trailer, pull it in the homecoming parade. That's Friday morning, starts at noon. And everybody at Meldon Law is so excited. That's going to be a blast. For those of you that have never seen a Gator homecoming parade, go. It's just so much fun. Everybody gets to participate, and it's really, really a cool event. So homecoming is October 18th. That's a Friday starting at noon. And this coming Friday, October 11th, one day to say thank you to Sheila Williams from Max Drive-Thru, and all proceeds all day long from 9 to 5 are going to Sheila's retirement fund. My good friend Ron DiFilippo, who owns Max Drive-Thru, wants to honor Sheila's 37 years of dedicated service to the clientele at Max Drive-Thru. Max Drive-Thru's on right near 10th Avenue and North Main Street in Gainesville by the Public Shopping Center. So if you spend money on Friday, October 11th from 9 to 5. All the money, every penny of it is going to Sheila. So let's support what's going on. A couple other new things for Meldon Law website. If you go to meldonlaw.com, you can get 2 very important books for free. You can download a PDF version, or we'll send you the actual consumer guide itself in the mail. One book is called Buying Florida Auto Insurance. We've talked about it before. It's crucial that you understand the need for uninsured motorist coverage and how you can get it. The insurance companies do not push it because it's the best value that you can get on your auto policy. All you have to do is go to meldonlaw.com and look at the top of the homepage, and you'll see where we have our guides. There's another guide there that's free called 7 Mistakes That Can Wreck Your Florida Accident Case. If you've been in a crash, you got to download it and read it so you have some idea of what you should do next, because there's a lot of traps and mines in there that you don't want to step on. So make sure that you read our book, 7 Mistakes That Can Wreck Your Florida Accident Case. And last but not least, Meldon Law is giving away a VIP experience for the Florida-Georgia weekend. 2 tickets to the game. We have great seats. A 2-night stay in a riverfront room at the DoubleTree in Jacksonville, where you can ferry across the stadium from the hotel. Dinner for 2 on Friday night before the game at Ruth Chris Steakhouse. 2 passes to the Gator Hospitality event. A Meldon Law Gator duffel bag, and a football signed by Billy Napier, our coach. No jokes. Billy is trying to pull this team back together, and we're behind him. So all you have to do is go to the Meldon Law Instagram page or Meldon Law Facebook page, enter the contest, and you too can win. So that's a little bit about what's going on in our world at Meldon Law. We help people recover and put their lives back together after serious accidents. Please give us a call, 352-373-8000, or you can visit us at meldonlaw.com. I promise you the Ritz-Carlton experience if you are a client of Meldon Law. And that's it for our warm-up, and we're going to come back in just a few minutes with our special guest, Lizzie Jenkins from the Real Rosewood Foundation.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street, and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there, and I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon, because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again!
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey!
Everybody else, Here we go again.
To Meldon Law and Friends, I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law, where we promise you the Ritz-Carlton experience if you are seriously injured in an accident. Please give us a call, 352-373-8000, or go to meldonlaw.com. I'm very privileged today to have my good friend and guest, Lizzie Jenkins, with us for the show. Hi, Lizzie. How you doing today?
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you? I'm doing fine. And
Well, good. So I understand you're having a birthday party coming up. What's that all about?
that's all about my Rosewood project. Don't know if you know that I have been working on my Rosewood project for 42 years and then some. And what we're going to do soon, we're going to build a museum. So the purpose of this birthday bash is to raise funds to build a museum in Archer in recognition or remembrance of the Rosewood school teacher, my Aunt Mahulda Gussie Brown Carrier. And she left a legacy, and we plan to continue her work with help from people like you, Steve Spurrier, Grille, Campus USA Credit Union, Coca-Cola, Tower Hill Insurance, Arnold Construction Company out there in Archer, Asala, the Juneteenth National Foundation, ACPO, and the Archer Historical Society. And we have one candidate, and it would be remiss if I not call her name because she ran me down. She is a county commissioner, and her name is Anna Prizier. Okay, so we are on the move to make this happen.
Okay. Well, look, it's very important that people know, first of all, where it is, right? Yes. What the day is and what's going on. So we are broadcasting now from the podcast room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille. Lizzie Jenkins also has a podcast that a lot of people watch and listen to right out of the same podcast room here. And for those of you that haven't been to Spurrier's Gridiron Grille, it's amazing. It's really become almost the epicenter for events and parties. Yes. And people before football games, before basketball games, before any kind of an event going on around town. It's probably happening here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille, so enjoy yourself, right?
Absolutely. Spurrier is the place to be. Okay, I love it. And people ask all the time, Liz, how did you manage, to work your way up or to get on your list? And I said, because of people like Jeffrey Meldon, Freddie Wehbe, Steve Spurrier, and Jerry Benton. Jerry Benton is the president of Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, Jerry is great.
Yes,
and,
he is.
We know the family. His daughter used to work at Meldon Law.
Okay.
Abby, yeah. We coached her up in our marketing department. Next thing I know, she was running the marketing department for a big company, and she's doing great. So we love Campus Credit and what they do. I want to get back again to the date. So we're talking Wednesday, October 23rd, right here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille. It's actually going to be at the Visors Room, which is really cool, upstairs. And now that the weather's cooling off, yes, Visors should be really, really nice. Those of you that haven't been up to Visors, the whole top floor of Spurrier's Gridiron Grille is a special place. Visor is obviously a reference to Steve Spurrier's Visor collection. For those of you that don't know, the NCAA tried to ban Spurrier from wearing a visor when he was started coaching at the University of Florida,
Really?
because they thought that a baseball cap was okay, but a visor wasn't, I don't know what. I wouldn't use the word dignified because there's nothing dignified in football. And so, but they felt like it wasn't dignified enough. So
Right.
Spurrier said, you're crazy, and they backed down.
Okay.
We won't back down, right?
Exactly. I wonder where that came from. We won't back down, and you don't, and I appreciate that.
Well, we work very hard at giving our clients
The best.
really great experience. So thank you for
best
that.
experience.
So here's the deal. The tickets for this amazing event. Now, first of all, what's going on? Starting at 5 o'clock up top here, we're having an awesome buffet. First of all, you get one drink ticket, so you can come down and have a cocktail. You can have access to this beautiful buffet that they're going to put together with favorite items from the Gridiron Grille. And there's going to be music. I heard that Elio Piedra might
Yes.
show up. Oh,
Yes.
there's the
Yes.
invitation.
This
Okay.
is the invitation.
So take a look. Here, let's see. Yeah, we got it there. So anyhow,
They can find it on my Facebook page.
yeah. So if you go to Real Rosewood Foundation Facebook page,
Yes.
if you just put in Real Rosewood in their
Yes.
Facebook, you'll find it. It's only $50. It includes a drink, a great buffet, really good music by Elio, our favorite music man, and it's a celebration. I understand you're having a birthday, right?
Yes, I am. I'm celebrating an 86. Okay.
Okay. Well, now that's really cool, Lizzie. Okay, because I just turned 80.
Oh, really? You're in the 8?
I'm in the 8s, and
Well,
so.
welcome home to
So
the 8s.
everybody looks at me like I'm leading the way, but for me, you're leading the way. So I want to ask you, what's your perspective at 86 as far as living every day and living into the future?
What's my perspective? Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
I keep getting older and I keep working. I continue to work daily on Rosewood because it's my mom's demand. You must keep that history alive for your grandchildren, my grandchildren, the next generation, because we're not going to be around, Jeffrey, and somebody needs to make sure history is preserved.
Yeah.
Ugly, bad, or good.
Well, there's
We can't
lessons.
erase it.
They always say that history repeats itself,
Yes.
and that I'm Jewish and very involved with the supporting the Holocaust Museum
Yes.
in Washington D.C. because
Yes.
I feel like that's something that's really important for children to learn about it.
Exactly.
People our age, are familiar with it, but as things go on and on and on, if you don't have a museum or some learning
Right.
instrument so that
Yes.
you can take all the children, right, from the
Yes.
schools and say, oh, okay, let's go out to, this museum and learn something today.
Rosewood Museum in Archer, and we're going to have a petting zoo there. Okay,
Oh, so that'll be
animals-
perfect for the kids.
Right, and we plan to reconstruct or resurrect Rosewood with the shotgun houses, okay, and a church and a school. Okay, it's going to be all about Rosewood in Archer on property that my family owns today. We never sold it, as Dad said. So I'm looking forward to this birthday event that you are working so hard to help us make it a reality.
Let's talk about the history of Rosewood, because a lot of people have heard the name. There was this famous movie, I think, in 1997 or 98.
Yes, 97.
Who was it?
John Singleton.
Singleton did. It's an awesome movie. It was a big Hollywood movie.
It
right?
was. It
and,
was.
it was. Although it may not have been perfectly accurate, it was pretty darn close.
It was close, and Rosewood was not perfect. So, my mom was invited to see the live, what is it called? Stream.
Where
the premiere.
The premiere showing.
Yes,
Yeah,
she was, and she was the spokesperson. So they said to her, Miss Robinson, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the movie? And my mother was 95 at the time. She said, well, I give it a 7. That's not bad. And when it happened, she was 20, and she knew everything because her sister, who was the teacher there, shared it with her. Okay, so, hey, we got the message out. And everybody needs to know a little bit about history.
Now, Rosewood was a very successful black community in Levy County. It was, 40 minutes or so from Gainesville,
Yes.
depending on how fast a car you had. But it was founded before automobiles. My notes say it was founded in 1845 in Levy County.
Levy County was founded in 1845, but my research says that it was founded in 1855, which is 10 years after. Now, it may have been founded in 1845 because, all records are not the same.
And somebody
So
might
that's
have just
fine.
moved out there
Exactly.
and they say, well, Joe moved out there in 1845, so
Exactly.
that's right. But
It's
anyhow,
there.
out in Levy County, they had a really strong timber and turpentine
Yes.
industry. I mean, it was big, and they had all these, sawmills and things going
Many
on out
sawmills,
there.
yes.
For those of you that don't know, Florida back in the 1800s, there were these amazing virgin forests, and
Yes.
and people would look at for places where there was good wood, and then they used the timber to build homes and
Yes.
businesses and everything else. And back then, it's interesting because most of the towns were built with wood.
Exactly, and we have cut the woods, the trees down, and we can't control the storms any longer. Okay,
Right.
because we don't have any trees blocking the wind, but it was timber everywhere.
So it was a thriving community. There was segregation back then. However, the town of Rosewood was fairly successful as far as everybody had jobs. They were
Yes.
making money. They
Yes.
they owned their own homes. They
Yes.
were it was not perfect, but for 1845 or 1855, moving forward, there were a lot of very good things that were happening in Rosewood.
And they respected each other, the black and the whites. They respected each other. That was important. And they made an agreement with a handshake. Okay? All of them were poor. When I say poor, middle class. Okay? I got that
In
from-
those days, in the 1850s, that meant you had a roof over your head and food on the table, right? That was middle
That's
class.
middle class. You are so right. That is right. They had food and a roof, and they were all interested in their kids getting an education. That was number one priority.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Let's talk about that.
They had I have a copy of the White Rosewood School and the teachers. There were 3 teachers in Rosewood, white teachers in Rosewood, 3 black teachers that taught in Rosewood during that time. And I have photos of Levy County school children, school buses, school benches. As I said, they got along, okay, and they respected themselves, and they were middle class. And I love your definition of middle class. A roof over their head, a job, and food on the table. And they invested in their children.
and the education structure grew there. And leading up to the Rosewood Massacre in 1923, Rosewood was a very successful community, and probably in the South one of the best examples of a black community that was focused in on education. They took pride in their community.
They did.
And unfortunately, there were a couple bad apples over at the sawmill that started something that we call
Fall of Rosewood.
the fall of Rosewood. Well, let's talk about that. What did your aunt and your mom relate to you as far as Rosewood leading up to 1923, and then of course the Rosewood Massacre? What were the stories you heard?
The stories I heard, in 1937, they built a sawmill in Sumner. And many of the people that worked in Rosewood relocated to Sumner to work at that sawmill because it was new, modern.
Now, what year was this? Before in 1923 or after?
After.
Afterward.
After 1930, no, I
In
got
the
my
30s,
dates-
in the
no,
30s,
I
during
got my
the-
dates wrong. It was 1897.
1897.
Okay,
Oh,
yes, and they left Rosewood and moved to Sumner.
okay.
And they too lived in shotgun houses. When I say shotgun houses, people go, oh, shotgun house. Some people don't know what a shotgun house is, but they lived, and like I said, they were all trying to make a living. They were not rich, and they were all hard workers, and they respected each other. They got along. However, a young lady who was the wife to the Sumner foreman was having, this is hearsay, having an affair, with a white man. Wanted to call it off because she was trying to raise her son. However, he did not. He was not ready to give up on her, but she knew that she was married and had a child and needed to do what was right. So she broke it off, and I'm using terms like broke it off because people out there understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
In other words, she said, this is it. And a fight ensued, and he bruised her. So when her husband came home from work to have breakfast, and by the way, let me back up. Each morning, her husband went to work at 4 a.m. to get the mill started and oil the machines. And he had a crew that came in.
This was a white man?
A white man, yes.
Okay.
He was the foreman.
Okay.
And his crew came in. A crew started at 4 a.m. with him. And the second crew came on at 6 a.m., to continue what the others had started. But where this young man that went to work at 6 a.m., he and a young man from Gulf Hammock carpooled to Rosewood, and one of them went to work at 6, and the other one went to work at 4. So the guy who went to work at 6 a.m. had time, 2 hours on his hands. He had 2 hours to mess around, and he just took up company with Fannie Taylor. Long story that I really don't want to get into, but that ended the relationship. And of course, when her husband came home at 6 o'clock to get breakfast, she said, "Oh, a black man assaulted me." She didn't say rape; she said assaulted me. And as a result of that, James Taylor was furious. That's the husband to Fannie Taylor. Telegraphed the law officers in Gainesville, and of course they went down because that same weekend, the KKK in December 31, 1922, had a convention or conference in downtown Gainesville. So they were already in town, and they went out to assist him, and as a result of that, the town just blew apart, and there were people killed. Oh, and by the way, it was my uncle, the school teacher, my aunt, husband they accused, and it just went down really, really bad. He was beaten almost to death, but the good part about I don't know if it's good or not, but yeah, it was good because the Levy County Sheriff saved his life. The Levy County Sheriff,
A white man.
Robert Bob Walker, not only saved his life, but he saved the other people's lives. Only 5 were killed, but he had to do this like by himself,
Surreptitiously kind of underground, and the
Yes.
movie has the train coming through and
Yes.
people getting on the train to escape to Gainesville.
Exactly. And as a result of that, the sheriff made sure they wanted to kill my uncle, and the sheriff said, "No, put him in my car. I'll kill him." Instead, he brought him to Gainesville, and P.G. Ramsey, the sheriff at the time in Gainesville, Bob Walker, the Levy County sheriff, said to him, "Put him away and don't tell anybody he's here." And for 6 months, my uncle stayed there and lived. And it's a story that needs to be heard because the Good Samaritans came out, and the Briceville brothers, William and John Bryce, assisted him. But they told him it must be at night. So it was like 4 a.m.
I know there's a Bryce family that still lives in Alachua County. I don't know if that's a descendant from those Bryces or not.
I don't know.
They-
Everybody don't talk about it. But
Well, they owned a bunch. They still own a bunch of land out on Williston Road, so you never know.
you never know. And they may have changed their names too, because that's the BRICE. And when I first started my research, I went to the BRICE. Then I discovered the BRYCE out of Briceville. So you never know. And
Oh.
people back then changed their names.
So anyhow, the history of Rosewood is paradoxical in many ways because it was a massacre. They would have killed much more than 5 people had it not been for the heroics of the Levy County Sheriff and others. So it wasn't as though it was all whites against blacks. It wasn't as though the community wasn't tight. It wasn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't as though there was, rampant racism.
Right, it was not.
That it was an example in 1923 of a community that was surviving very well, and we called it a middle-class community, and people, the shotgun home, by the way, we have shotgun homes in Gainesville in the Duck Pond area where they're on narrow lots, usually no more than 40 or 50 feet wide, sometimes less, and they call them shotgun because they're really narrow, but then they go down. They're long, and you go in, and there's the living room, with the kitchen, and then you start having the bedrooms down towards the end, right?
Exactly. And it was called Shotgun House because you could stand on the front steps and shoot through the house. Okay, and then it would
Because
go
that's where
straight through
the
shotgun.
hallway
Yes.
went right down the
Right
middle,
down
and you
the
had the
middle.
bedrooms on either
Bedrooms
side.
on the side. And my mom was very interested. I'm going to sing you one verse of the song. She wrote a song, 13 verses, but my favorite verse is the Cedar Key train conductors were told to pick up in Rosewood, standing by the tracks with the lantern. Its young school teacher stood, waiting in desperation to carry out the sheriff's plan, rounding up the hidden survivors to board the midnight train. I like that verse because that is exactly what they did to help the people escape Rosewood.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. For those of you that haven't seen the movie, you ought to go check it out. It's just called Rosewood, right? The
Yes.
movie? And
Rosewood, yes.
and you should be able to find it streaming somewhere. It's a really to me, it laid out the story in a way so that you understood what happened in our own backyard.
Exactly. And most important, we got to keep that history alive. And back to this birthday party, we got to make it successful. If you have not gotten your tickets, go to Eventbrite type in Rosewood or Lizzie Jenkins, and I'm more than sure it would. You will see how to order your tickets. Plus, Zach is going to add that information to our Facebook. But please support Steve Spurrier, Gridiron Grille. Every weekend, Sunday and Saturday, there is a brunch from 11 to 3. The best.
It's awesome.
It's
And it's a fun crowd because everybody, most of the people are local, but if there's a football game, then you get the out-of-towners. But for us locals, we can come here all year long. It's
Yes.
fun. And I promise you, it's really a good time. And you don't have to eat again the rest of the day.
Exactly. So please support Steve and support my good friend Meldon Law. He is a good friend. I don't remember when we met, but I've done a commercial for you.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
no.
people call me, Liz, is that you? I said, no, it's not me. Yes, it is. I know your voice. Then why are you asking me? But this is going to be a fun event. Get your tickets now. They're not lasting. Get your tickets now. They are going fast.
We are, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We just sold a bunch today, and jump in, and you get to check out what Visors is. So let me
Yes.
again. So now, if people go to Real Rosewood on your Facebook page,
Yes.
will they have a link there where they can buy tickets?
Yes, and also Queen Lizzie Podcast. It's a link there on that Facebook. I have 3 Facebooks, pages. Lizzie Robinson-Jenkins, Queen Lizzie Podcast, and the Real Rosewood Foundation. And
Well-
you can find a link at all of the above. And my website, rosewoodflorida.com.
Well, I'll tell you, I really admire you. And since you've publicly stated it's your 86th birthday and I've publicly stated it's my 80th, you're leading the way for me. So I want to thank you because it's just an honor being your friend. And also, it's important that there's some lessons learned about Lizzie's longevity because she's not sitting around on her butt watching TV all day. She is out there doing stuff,
Exactly.
working, and I am too. I'm in the office every day. If you're a client of mine and you want to hang out, just let me know. I'll meet with you. We'll go over your case. We'll do something.
Exactly.
My message to everybody out there is stay active. I have so many friends that have retired, and usually they die within 2 or 3 years.
Exactly. They have nothing to do.
They have nothing to do. Now, you can retire from what your main occupation is and find something else like the Real Rosewood Foundation to substitute, for your efforts to,
Right.
To build something else. So we're not saying that you can't retire from what you're currently doing, but don't stop living, don't stop doing things,
Exactly.
and that's why I admire you so much, Lizzie, because you're older than me and you're still out there cranking
And
it
you're
up.
still rubbing
So
it in.
I mean, yeah,
You're letting people know.
my son's the managing partner now at the law firm, but he keeps asking me, well, Dad, how much longer are you going to practice? I said, as long as I can.
Exactly. It keeps you live.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
Happy, active. Yes.
So
yes.
come to celebrate Lizzie Jenkins' 86th birthday party at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille. And we're going to have it at Visors upstairs. Again, the date is Wednesday, October 23rd. And get your tickets. And we will have a blast. I want to thank you very much, Lizzie, for joining us. And we'll be back next week with another edition of Meldon Law and Friends.
Thank you.